Let's bring Blind Rainbow Dash in right now.
Fair enough.
Hello, Blind Rainbow Dash. Welcome to the Mini Arcade Show.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good.
Nervous?
Nah, maybe a little.
Oh, don't worry.
Don't worry. It's not. It's not. It probably won't be as bad as it was at Equestria LA.
Oh man, that
What are you
was
talking
just
about?
terrifying.
That being said, I have to say, very interesting character.
Yeah.
I've read some of your stuff, and I find it very inspiring.
Thanks.
But before we actually get into the character, real quick, let's get into the basics. What inspired you to become an artist?
What
By his
inspired me to
definition.
become an artist? It's
Yeah, by
actually,
its definition of basic. Sorry.
well, it's actually pretty funny because the way I became an artist was actually because I started watching My Little Pony. I didn't draw beforehand, so like literally it was just like I like this show, and like a month after I started watching it, which was right after season one ended, I was like, I want to try drawing, and
I mean, there was nothing prior to that.
no, actually, it was just like I just was like I want to try drawing ponies. It was just like something that happened because of the show. I'm not sure
Uh,
why
Now
it happened.
that is inspiring.
So it was just like, yeah, I just wanted to draw something, and I just started drawing a lot. When I started, I drew like almost 5 or 6 hours a day, at least.
Good lord!
Yeah, so I did that for about half a year.
Wow. Here I thought it would be a little inspiring, but this was way inspiring. I mean, a show actually inspired an artist, and the thing is, the person wasn't even an artist in the first place. Now
Well,
that's
sort of. Sort of.
that's a rare quality, and the thing is, your art style is really good. It's very interesting and it's very unique,
Hmm.
and even for a first-time artist, since the show. Now that's something right there. You don't see those every single day. It's like it's like mainly like trying. It's basically find a diamond that just basically has been sitting there in plain sight this whole entire time, and all of a sudden it just basically took the right digger that's necessary to dig you out.
Pretty
Yeah, I
much.
guess I'm honestly not sure how. I was very lucky though, because I had a nurturing community. Because like the fandom is pretty good about that sort of thing. Actually, there if you're trying, I feel like the community I was in helped me a lot because I was on Google Plus at the time, and there was a growing Brony community on there who encouraged me, even though I wasn't so good when I started off. And then slowly I started to improve.
No, you were nurtured.
Yeah,
Pretty
I feel
much.
yeah, I feel like one good way to a very good way to actually to start art is in a fandom and then like trying to find a community that'll nurture you. It's kind of I also think it's kind of a lucky thing that it happened with me because some people they can't find that, but yeah.
You know, you're right more ways than one.
Hmm?
It's what it used to be. The community used to be all about at one point, but now
Uncertainty.
Yeah, I think it's just because it grew so big that
it basically
yeah.
it grew beyond what it's supposed to. Basically, it grew up too quick.
Yeah, it grew too quickly and it's so big now that it's difficult. Yeah, it's just really sprawled.
We're really too spread out.
And really, really outgrowing its bridges, so to speak.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So with that being said, the whole entire so basically you're basically the community. You were well nurtured through the community. I'm jealous.
I mean, I can understand because I am pretty lucky compared to I've seen some
You're very
people
fortunate. It's
really.
not lucky. You're
Yeah.
fortunate. You're very fortunate.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm very fortunate. I've seen some people get pretty shut down early on, and
None
I
given a
feel
chance.
yeah.
But now,
Sad.
I mean, shoot. I mean, now look at your art. I mean, hell, even got a panel at Equestria LA, which we'll probably get into in a while. Um, let's get
Oh,
in. Let's get into more about you in the process. Um, Now, your art style started for the brony community. You were well nurtured. Um, what has I mean, through everything, who would you say is basically the person who basically inspired you the most?
that's a hard question. That's a hard one actually because I've actually followed a lot of artists, and I think one of the, for example, there's like Cosmic Unicorn, who's just very good, and then there's um, I remember meeting John Hoseko. That was interesting. But I
Oh,
think
that's nice.
yeah, I think the artist that like left the strongest impression on me would be like Rizfra. I'm not sure how to pronounce her name. It's Rizcifra.
Okay.
Rizcifra, and like she's not active, and I've never talked to her, but like something about her art is just like I don't know. It really
It
drew
speaks
me.
for itself.
Yeah. So she also didn't make that much fan art for MLP, but I don't know. She just left a lasting impression on me, and I think she's also one of the major reasons why I'm an artist.
That's always good.
Yeah. So
So, what made you join Tumblr?
actually, um, for I started just like I see people do art blogs on Tumblr, so I just started by posting my art, and I just like posted my art there. It was just that's what I did. Like sketches, because I didn't want to post my sketches on DeviantArt and spam people, because I used to draw a lot. And then, yeah, that's how I joined Tumblr. Later on, I'd make an Ask vlog, but
But now here you are with Blind Rainbow Dash.
yeah.
Very much.
Hmm.
If you permit me, I'd like to go into the blog itself because it's very interesting.
We'll get to the blog after we do the questions, Gonzo.
Of course, of course.
So, okay, Gonzo, take it away on the user questions.
Well, all right then, I guess. What got you into My Little Pony in the first place?
This is kind of a funny story. I remember the notorious. If you remember the Brody doc, which is kind of notorious, I was actually interviewed at one point for it, for how we got into the show, and I'll tell you exactly what I told them. I found this video. My friends found this video called Ponycraft 2. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it takes the StarCraft 2 cinematic trailer, and then it uses scenes from My Little Pony. And I remember my friend sent me this like, hey, this is like really funny because we used to play StarCraft 2 back then a lot, and I was just like, yeah, this is pretty funny, but what is this show? And then I just started seeing more and more of these like clips on YouTube, and I was like, what is this like popular? Are they making fun of a bad show? What is this? So
Not
out of
sure if want.
yeah, well, it was just like I was just curious, and it was less not sure if what because I've always tried to have like a pretty um, curious,
Nope.
accepting attitude, but I ended
Oh,
up
an open
watching.
mind?
Yeah,
An open
an
mind
open
show?
mind.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, huh. And then I ended up watching the entirety of season 1 in a day and a half. Because I just couldn't stop watching it. I was just like, oh, yeah, next one. And then, like, I just realized that it was like 6 in the morning. And I was just like, well, I guess,
You really like the show.
yeah. And I didn't know about the community really back then either. It was like confusing time for me. Like,
Yeah.
You were basically exploring the vast expanse of being a brony. Basically, it grew inside you, and then it grew more, and you wanted to stretch out your roots and spread around, and all of a sudden, you basically found your way all the way up to Tumblr, and then
yeah.
you were like, I don't know where I'm going from here.
I think
Yeah, I
did-
think you. Yeah.
I
All
think
right.
I actually started from like Google Plus, which was like in beta back then, so it wasn't that big. But I remember because I made a Google Plus account, And then I just like started finding bronies, and we'd like add each other or circle each other and stuff. And then we just had this like nice little community of bronies on Google Plus, and that's where I started. And then I came to Tumblr. So
That's cool.
Alright. Let's skim down the favorites out of the pony fandom, because one question always brings Mean Spirit up on his knees. Alright, let's start with your favorite episode so far. That
that I've seen.
that at least you've seen, because, well...
Yeah,
It's always best to do it that way.
I've watched all of them.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Yeah. But that's a hard one because I like a lot of the episodes.
How about...
Top 3.
Yeah.
Top 3? Probably, what was it, Read It and Weep? I can't remember the titles. So one where Rainbow Dash was in the hospital.
Yeah, that's Read It and Weep.
Yeah, Read It and Weep. Wonderbolt's Academy, definitely. And probably... Man. I'll just go with Sonic Rainbow, because that way we have like a common theme here.
I see what you did there.
It seems it, and it'll probably be a far stretch. But let's go with favorite main 6 character.
I actually don't really have a favorite, but of course I do have one that Rainbow Dash, I guess technically you'd say is my favorite, but I like all of them a lot.
Okay, I'll go with that for now.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, but as a whole, I feel like the 6 of them act as like a single entity.
Well, they are they do. They act as the elements of harmony.
So yeah, I feel like as a whole, I just like treat them as that instead of like separate characters, and they all have their checks and balances, like faults and etc.
All right. Your favorite background pony.
My favorite background pony. It'd have to be probably I don't know actually. It's been changing. Like it went from like Celestia to Luna to like it's been changing a lot recently to Lyra.
So if you had to say what it is now, what would it be?
Probably Luna because of Zedrin.
Well, that also answers my next question. Your favorite princess, because Mean Spirit always asks that, and every time Luna's brought up, he went yay because.
Yay.
Long story short, Mean Spirit, Luna, Mean Spirit.
Anyways, moving along.
Now to get on to what I wanted to really ask. What pretty much what is the backstory behind Blind Rainbow Dash? I mean, not only her story, but what made you develop this particular blog?
Basically, in simple terms, for those who do not know about Blind Rainbow Dash, explain it.
I see. Well, I'll start. I'll start by saying how I got the idea, because to be honest, it was a rather out of the blue thing where I discovered that on Tumblr there are Ask blogs, and I started to follow a bunch of them because Ask blogs. It was interesting. It was art, and they interact with their followers. And I was like, I kind of want to do an Ask blog. It sounds like a way I can practice my art, right?
Right.
And then I was thinking about it, and I had read this really sad fanfiction. Oh boy, but yeah.
God.
Yeah.
What is it?
A Bluebird song. It has shipping in it, so might not be everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, it's like pretty sad. And I was thinking, well, Rainbow Dash is one of the main characters in this fic. What would happen if she was put in a difficult situation, like a life-changing situation that was different, because they approached it in a different way. I was like, and I was thinking about it, I was like, blindness. What if she was blind because I'm a sadistic bastard?
Wow. You said it, we didn't.
I'm a sadistic bastard. I blinded Rainbow Dash.
Well, and yeah, it might be out of sadistic bastard from the way it looks. Rainbow Dash has to see where she's going in order to, fulfill her dreams or whatnot. Racing around, doing her job and whatnot.
But also, here's another thing: is a lot of inspirational, like athletes who basically got crippled later on are usually inspiring to others. So, I mean, in a way, this is kind of like Rainbow Dash is that athletic celebrity that's basically might be inspirational to others about dealing with difficulties.
Yeah, like, what I wanted to do was try to have a message where someone loses everything that they think is like the core of their lives. And this doesn't happen to us often, but it of course happens to us in smaller units. Like every now and then a tragedy occurs and we feel sad, lost, etc. And I kind of wanted to develop her to grow out of that. And that way kind of show people that you can overcome things like that. Even though someone like Rainbow Dash, because she's blind now, she'll probably never become a Wonderbolt. She won't be able to race effectively anymore, etc. Her life was basically just turned upside down, ruined, right?
Mm-hmm.
Please show people that that's not the end of things.
Just the beginning.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a new beginning. Yeah, it's.
Now we know what she. Now we know how about why you made her blind, but in the story, how did she go blind? What kind of accident caused her to pretty much turn her life upside down?
That's an interesting question. Well, what happened is I started the blog kind of without a plan. Oh, she's blind. All right, let's go. And then people were asking me like, wait, but how? And I was like, wait, I would have an answer to this. So in the beginning, I was like, there was an accident involving a Fluttershy and a dragon and like things. Like,
it was basically one day with too much cider.
Yeah.
As usually what happens with a lot of celebrity athletes out there, basically it's gone a dark path and all of a sudden they lose everything due to their mistakes.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, I was like, Dragon Attack? I don't know. So like what happened is I tried to reboot it and I actually have a journal here where I keep all of my ideas. So now I have everything written down. And I guess this is kind of a spoiler. But what happened is Twilight Sparkle took her friends into the Everfree in an effort to harness the wild magic in Everfree. They always said that you can't control things in the Everfree and stuff. So she goes there to try to control it. She's the element of magic. So I felt like she would try. And then things go wrong, basically. And maybe I shouldn't say any more besides that.
If you want to divulge us, you can go ahead. But if you don't, well, same.
Things will be explained over time. But I wanted
words will be revealed. Yeah,
and all of the main 6 were affected. Like every single one of them was affected one way or another because of it. And I want to see like it. Mostly right now, I'm struggling to. I'm struggling with, I guess, a bit of stage fright.
Well, it's okay. I mean, don't worry too much about stage fright. Let us worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for updating. Like that's why it's not been updating recently. It's just I've been nervous.
You're worried that one wrong detail would offset everybody, right?
Yeah, I guess, but I just need to get over that, and I'll try to update soon. Really, like school's over, so I don't really have an excuse anymore.
Yay!
Can't use that excuse anymore. Yep, can't use it. Nope.
Can't use multivariable calculus as an excuse anymore.
You won't need that, I hope.
And then you'd be like, and what happened is, good lord, what's that over there? Run. So, that's interesting. the whole entire OC, it sounds great. Okay, let's go into it. How? I mean, since she's blind, at first, how was she handling it?
At first, I wanted her to just like be just dismal, as in like
My
she
life
has.
is ruined.
I don't really see her as that after. Well, of course, I think she'd start that way, but then like she'd just become like super unmotivated, right? Just like
Basically,
wanting,
become more like a recluse.
yeah, just like not wanting to do anything. Like that's what I can kind of see her doing, because like her whole life she's been just super active, right? And because of this, she just like turns herself off. That's what I kind of see her as starting as, and then later she'll grow past that, and yeah, those are all updates for the future.
Probably have some help with her friends to hopefully get out of that little funk.
Yep, definitely.
Now, if I remember, wasn't Twilight trying to help her out?
Yeah, she was, because she feels obligated.
Of course.
Yeah.
Go on.
And yeah, Twilight feels obligated. She was responsible for a lot of the problems the main six are having. The other four, we're not sure what's wrong with them yet, but I'm sure Dash is blind. Twilight's horn was damaged. Yeah, so
You don't want to give too much spoilers, so we understand.
yeah.
So we won't try to dig into more information that you don't want to spoil. So does she still fly?
I'm not gonna have her flying yet, and I did want to have an update later where she tries to fly, and like Twilight gets really mad because she almost hurts herself because she's blind, and then like it'd be like a scene where they have to like talk about it. There's some conflict. But yeah, I do want to have her try to fly, but not have her actually flying around yet.
So at this point in your story, how is she handling it?
Right now,
Yeah.
she's mad at the world.
She's like, why?
Yeah, just like she's just mad at the world. She's kind of just in that stage where she wants someone to blame.
It's usually the case with a lot of people who are suffering from being crippled in such a harsh manner. They want to blame everybody except for themselves, or just basically taking their frustration, their sadness on the world.
Yeah, and it's a difficult thing because a lot of people who are crippled, right? It isn't always their fault. Like, for example, in this case, it's not Dash's fault, it's Twilight's. But at the same time, like, taking that out on Twilight is not necessarily the right move, and I kind of want to have that in there, where she does try to take it out on Twilight. And then we'll see, like... I'm trying to, like, have the theme come from that. That sometimes bad things happen, and can't really just dwell on that.
I do have to admit, some problems you can't predict it and you can't stop it from happening, and it ends up happening. And the best thing you could do is to pretty much cope with the situation and make the best of it.
Yeah, and it's a difficult thing to do.
Of course, it never is easy.
Yeah, but that's why I'm hoping, as one of the themes of Blind Dash, is that sometimes bad things happen. The best you can do is cope with it, deal with it, try to move on from it.
So that actually answered the question on my next one. Is like where you want to see your character go in 6 months. The thing is that I think you already answered that. You have to wait and watch.
Well, it's not the only theme that I wanted to have. I also wanted to have a theme where it's like a disability doesn't define the person, or a disability doesn't define a character, right? And I also wanted to, yeah.
Wasn't that what said in the Batman movie, it's not who I am that defies me. It's what I do is what defies me.
Yes. Yeah. That is in the what's it, the first movie, the first series by I believe it's Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not who I can't do the Batman voice. It's not who I
You
am.
better not.
It's
You better
not who
not.
I am that defies me, but my actions.
Oh man, that voice.
But seriously, but it is true, more ways than one.
Yes.
But with that being, and I mean, as I always believed that action speaks louder than words.
Definitely. Definitely they do.
Because, I've heard a lot of stuff people making false promises or saying certain deals, but they do the opposite of that. It's like, I learned not to take people at their word, but through their actions, not what they do. And I find your blog very interesting because it's inspiring, and I could see it could be inspiring for a lot of other people out there. I mean, hell, I wouldn't be surprised that if you ever did your story become really big. I could see it becoming really big in hospitals for people recovering and whatnot.
Dang, that'd be, I don't know, that'd be very intimidating.
Intimidating, but it should be very honorable too.
Yeah,
because
I'd be very happy if people were being able to find strength from it. I feel like I haven't reached a point in the blog where I really do communicate those themes because I've been slow. I'm sorry about that,
but it's worth it, I think.
Yeah, I hope if even one person can find the strength to overcome their hardships, then it'd be worth it.
Yep. So, anyways, the moving on with you actually did go to Equestria, LA.
Yes.
How was that?
Equestria, LA?
Yeah.
It was pretty good. It was tons of fun. It was just like hanging out with a lot of people who enjoyed the same thing, and most of the time I spent at the vendor hall because I was helping some friends run a table. And kind of like they were sitting there. I was just like there every now and then. But I spent most of the time talking to artists, looking at a lot of the art there. I did attend some of the panels, and I did have a panel, which was quite an experience. But yeah, it was really good. I did not get to attend the dance. I think we left earlier. I don't know how that was.
I was there last year.
Last year, I was there too. Actually, last year.
Were you there during the opening ceremony?
Yeah, I believe I was there during the opening ceremony.
So then you did see me.
Yeah, must have. I'm sorry, I don't really remember.
Do you remember that the person who went up there for the proposal to his fiance?
Yes.
That was me.
Wow, congratulations. That was a long time ago though. But yeah, that was you?
That was me.
My goodness.
Yeah, take it all in.
Damn. But yeah, it was pretty amazing.
So, but yeah, that was me and my honey that actually did that. I actually planned that out with
Staff.
mainly with Ria Chan.
Rena.
Yeah, Rena Chan.
Yeah,
she was.
She was the Luna.
Yes,
At the opening
know.
ceremony.
Actually, I know all the EQLA staff because a long time ago, before EQLA existed, we had a meetup in San Diego, and it was me and the now EQLA staff, basically. Like, a lot of the people who were at that meetup are the EQLA staff now. And it was funny because we were joking around about having a con in LA back then. This is like more than a year ago now. which is kind of mind blowing. But I think it was more than a year ago now. I can't exactly remember the date, but yeah, we met in San Diego and we're just like hanging out because it was a meetup, and we just joked around about having a convention. We're like, what would we call it? Equestria LA, and everyone's like, that's a silly name. Ended up calling it Equestria LA.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't end up being on the staff because I was too busy. But yeah, they made it happen, and I was amazed because like I had to go. I disappeared for a while because I had to do things. But then when I came back to the meetups, they're like, "Yeah, we have like a convention."
And you're like, wait,
what?
You're like, wait, when did this happen? And I wasn't told because. Oh wait,
Well,
and you look at your phone, you have all these messages. Like, oh, that's why.
no, they didn't tell me because like I wasn't in the meetups, and I did tell them that I was like super busy. So like, yeah. But yeah, it was amazing because like literally it came from like a joke. It started as a joke, like kind of like just joking around, like who's gonna run it, right? We're just like, who would want that responsibility? And then they like stepped up, and they stepped up like and took it,
And
they made Equestria LA happen, and I was just like super impressed. And man, it was they ran good cons, definitely. Both Equestria LAs were very fun.
That's always cool. I mean, I didn't.
Yeah, and I'm just glad that I met them because they're all great people. Like Kira Buckland and Nicholas and Karen. I wish I could see them more, but they've gotten super busy because of convention stuff.
Of course. So, any future meetups?
No, I don't really. I don't go to meetups anymore.
Oh, sad.
Sad.
What's sad?
Sad face.
It was a combination of school and the friends I've made at meetups. They stopped going because they were so busy. So like, I didn't really have a reason to go anymore. So yeah.
Well, but at least you go to Equestria LAs.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be attending BronyCon as well.
Oh,
I might meet you there as well.
Yeah.
Are you probably gonna go to the next Equestria LA?
Definitely.
You'll probably see me and Flutters there.
Yeah, definitely. And
Yeah, I think it'd be an honor.
Equestria LA is like close, so I don't mind attending whenever I can.
That's cool. Yeah, Flutters is coming down here for California for about a week. Because it's coming Monday, and me and her will be attending Pirate Fest.
Oh, where's that?
It's over here in Vallejo, up in Northern California.
Oh, do you live in NoCal?
Yeah.
Oh.
I want to check it out.
There's a few bronies coming up there, for it as well as part of the meetup. Even Pun Pony.
Yeah. I live in SoCal, so that's quite a drive.
God, I know. I know about the drive. I drove down to Equestria that one year, and it was about a 9-hour drive.
Yeah.
And I'm just basically, it's like, the drive down there, I was prepared for. The drive on the way back, I wasn't, and I had to have I had to have my hunting drive, and that was an experience. And then basically, I just got to the point where I was well rested, and I drove the rest of the way, because I'm with me in my car, I'm kind of iffy.
Yeah,
Okay, fine. Yes, she basically has a lead toe. There, hon, you admitted your own defeat. Yes, she drove about over 100 miles.
Defeat?
What?
She drove 100 miles per hour in my car. With that ease, because I mean, I take good care of my car. This car has almost over 200,000 miles.
And it's a freaking small Honda.
It's a Honda. It's a 2000 Honda Civic.
Dang.
And this thing could go up to 120 miles an hour, but she was able to go 100 miles with no problem whatsoever because my car is good like that.
100 miles an hour, and she didn't get pulled over. That's.
Well, the speed limit was 75, but the thing is, we're driving late at night on a long stretch of road on Highway 5, I think it was 5.
Okay, I'm just gonna say I drove to NorCal once, and I was going 92, and I got pulled over. And that was very unpleasant.
It is. But the
Yeah,
thing
but
is that it was for her. It was worth it.
yeah,
And she will basically say it was totally worth it. Don't care. I enjoyed every minute of it.
didn't get caught.
Hey, as long as you don't get, hey, everything's fine. As long as you don't get caught and no one got hurt.
Yeah.
But scared me. I was like, "What are you doing?"
And then she was just like, "Honey, go to sleep."
I was like, "That's it. I'm driving the rest of the way." Yes, I was asleep at the time, but when I woke up, I was terrified.
Good God. Are we done with the promotions and the stories and whatnot?
Oh no, we're actually having a little more fun here because we have time to kill. But still, the so you say you've been up to Northern California. I mean, what part of Northern California have you been?
Mostly just San Francisco, the UC Berkeley area, visiting friends there.
Oh, I'm actually from there. I'm actually in that area.
Oh, really?
I'm East Bay all the way.
Man, I must have passed by your house or something then. But yeah, I stopped by UC Berkeley to see my friends with a fresh ticket.
You're like, yay. Originally, Pirate Fest was going to be at Treasure Island this year, but we got a crappy area because they kept on switching on us, so we just went right back to Vallejo.
Where's Treasure Island?
Treasure Island is like right before San Francisco.
Oh, I see.
As if you take the Bay Bridge.
Have to drive farther then.
Well, the thing is, okay, if you're wondering about Pirate Fest, it's actually further up. In other words, once you pass Berkeley, then you only have is a 30-minute drive more.
That's not bad then.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it. I'm on a budget.
Yeah, maybe not this year, but maybe next year. Who knows?
Maybe, who knows? Yeah, it depends on how active I become at cons. For like the thing is, I didn't get a table at BronyCon or Ichile
Because of funds. That's fine.
Well, I could have. It's just I didn't feel like I had material. Right? Not yet. I didn't feel like I had the material to sell.
And you didn't have enough material, and here we are still talking. You got plenty of material. Material. Sorry.
Don't do
that. But yeah. So I guess it was like kind of a lack of confidence on my part. But if I do start selling or getting tables at cons, then you'll definitely see me at more cons. Cause yeah, but.
By the way, you were also there with Captain Luna.
Yes.
How was Captain Luna?
Captain Luna, the artist's name is Marble Yarns, and he's quite good artist. How was Captain Luna in time out? What meaning?
Well, I mean, I talked to the person before. Captain Luna's an interesting character. But what do you think of it as a person? Because I know the difference between like talking to the person online to compare to actually talking to the person in real life.
Oh, Marble Yarns a pretty quiet guy, but he's pretty nice, and he's just like he's nice, he's quiet, pretty laid back. Once he relaxes around you, though, he starts cracking jokes too,
which is always nice.
Yeah, he's a pretty funny guy once he gets relaxed, but if he don't let him hear don't let him hear me talking about him.
Well, okay, then let's get into more of your panel since you actually talked there at Equestria LA. Mm-hmm. Now, this was your first panel, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, what was your panel about?
It was mostly just about how to run an Ask blog or how to start an Ask blog. It was just like we kind of sat up there and answered questions. It wasn't. Yeah, that's a pretty small panel.
Now, what kind of questions were like asked to you that specifically that?
Well, one of the questions I noticed seemed to be pretty popular is like, how do I get my Ask blog out there or known? And it was like one of those questions where it's like it's really hard to answer because there's no real good way of getting your Ask blog out there without being obnoxious, right? You can't like go to all the popular Ask blogs and be like, "Hey, can you promote me?" Because like that's like it gets they get annoyed and you're like, "Oh, damn," right? And
Yeah.
the way most of the artists I know got their Ask blogs out there was they tagged their posts. So like Captain Luna, for example, would tag his posts Captain Luna, Princess Luna, right? Things like that, airships.
Yeah. Steampunk.
Yeah. And then they'll get like people searching, and I think another person what they did is they posted their Ask blog on Reddit, and that's how they got like a good like core base of followers, and then they'd reblog, and then people would follow, etc.
I guess a good idea might have been to pretty much let it spread out, basically through not you, but through the mouths of your followers, pretty much like saying like, "Hey, this blog's good. You should really check it out," or something like that.
The hard thing is getting like the first like 5 or 10, right? But like after that, it'll start to grow little by little, especially if you try really hard to make your blog interesting.
True.
And it'll promote itself, basically.
Let your action speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Blind Dash was really strange for me. It was what happened was the way I started Blind Dash was I just made a post and I just had like a picture of Dash, and then overnight it gained like 150 followers or something like that.
A lot of, well, I guess it's because Rainbow freaking Dash, I guess.
Yeah, but I didn't post it anywhere. So I don't know how they found me. It's like the biggest mystery for me still is like, how did they find me? I didn't know how to tag, but I haven't tagged it.
It's probably just like, from what it's not like I'm gonna understand it, but I guess I bet some people are gonna be so fanatical to just type in Rainbow Dash on Google and they'll just look at every single possible link and it's be like, all of a sudden it'll probably go to you.
Maybe they like searched Tumblr for like Dash or Rainbow Dash or something and they found me and then they like started reblogging. And that's how, yeah. But
who knows what goes into the mind of fans, but
well, we are technically fans.
I mean,
yeah, but the fans who seriously pursue, like, I have some respect for those people who really get down on their knees to dig for those blogs. Because those people are the backs that we artists stand on.
Awesome.
well,
Alright. Well, it's about 9 minutes before we actually get to our main guest. What we're going to do real quick is just basically go recover our throats because this one's going to be a long interview. So, Blind Rainbow Dash, I want to thank you for actually coming on here. It's been actually really an honor because I can see your blog actually could go a long ways.
Thank you, and you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. When we come back, folks, we're going to have his Princess Molestia, aka Jonathan Chiseko, on here, with a few other little surprises on the way. So we're going to take a little bit of a break, and if you stick around, because at 9 o'clock sharp, Princess Molestia is up next.